What is up, guys? Rickackis here, and Titan mode is returning to Battlefield 4 in the Naval Strike DLC. So, the first thing I'm going to do is explain what Titan mode was in Battlefield 2142. Now, veterans of 2142 will totally know all of this, but a lot of you probably haven't played 2142 as Battlefield has gotten a lot more popular since then. Like, this was before either of the bad companies, 2142. So, Titan mode in 2142 is set in the year 2142. I know, shocking. But anyways, you had these massive, like, floating air vehicles, essentially. Like, basically aircraft carriers. It very, very similar to the things from the Avengers. The flying aircraft carrier is kind of like those. Would fly in the air, and you could pilot them. The commander of the game could direct the Titan closer. Like, so Titans would either stay where they were, maybe one would be avoiding the other, but often they would just go towards each other and eventually get very, very close. There was a point where they couldn't get any closer, like you couldn't, the two Titans couldn't ever touch. But the sweet thing about these Titans was, if you could either win by the normal kind of conquest way, you could kill the enemy Titan by capturing points. Every point you captured was a missile silo, and it would launch a missile at the Titan every once in a while, as long as you controlled that point. And so if you played basically a game of conquest and won, the enemy Titan would become destroyed simply from you controlling the most points. Now, the really interesting and awesome part of Titan mode was that the missile silos would shoot, and the Titans would have a shield. And eventually, so you'd have to play Conquest at first, and then eventually enough missiles would hit the enemy Titan if you were doing well and controlling enough points that the shield would go down. Now, once the Titan shield went down, you could actually go aboard the enemy Titan. So in 2142, since it was futuristic, the vehicles had like basically capsules that would launch upwards and would launch you all the way into the air, like hundreds of feet into the air, and then you would be able to land on the enemy Titan. You could also use helicopters and air vehicles to land on the enemy Titan, and if the Titans were close enough, like I mentioned, you can move the Titans. You could actually launch a capsule from one Titan and land on the other, so you're constantly back and forth, like storming each other's Titans. Now, the important thing about storming the enemy Titan was you would go through a set of different like objectives. Like, you'd get on the enemy Titan, you'd have to disable these like keys or whatever it would be, and then that would unlock a secondary back room. You'd have to destroy the shield there, and then it would eventually unlock the Titan core. And if you killed the enemy Titan core, you won the game. And it was so sweet because once you killed the core, you'd actually have a timer, and you could actually run off the Titan and jump off the Titan and get out. And if you were like really good timing, you had enough time to destroy the core and run out of the Titan and land back on the ground, and then the game would end. And you'd be looking up at the exploding Titan, and it was absolutely epic. And so Naval Strike is bringing this back. It is bringing a reformed Titan mode. So obviously, we're going to have Titan mode with 2 aircraft carriers, and whether you can actually steer them like the old Titan mode, I really hope so, but it would be absolutely incredible if you could. And the same thing is probably going to be in effect, where you can either win via conquest, or you can storm the enemy Titan, and if you blow up the enemy aircraft carrier, you would win from that. So there's basically 2 win conditions, and it makes Titan mode so fun. Like, I played so much 2142, and definitely by far my favorite game type was Titan mode. Just being able to storm an enemy like giant enemy ship, it was essentially like something out of Star Wars. Like, it was so crazy. And of course, having to be in the Titan defending it, like, it was really, really sweet because there was 2 different styles of combat going on in the same game. There was the wide open conquest game that, you know, it was like playing in a very large conquest map like Golmud Railway, where you would be, you know, shooting vehicles, and it would be long distance combat. But if you were sticking to the Titan, either attacking or defending your Titan, it would be extremely cramped, close quarters, like shotgun gameplay. So you could basically play either or on this game type, and it was just a ton of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, DICE, make Titan mode right, because it will be my absolutely favorite game type if you do this right. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a good day.